and welcome to Ask the Expert, a daily series from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. to help small businesses. My name is Toff, and I will be your host for today. You can ask me any questions in the comments or use the hashtag QBATE on Twitter. And if you need any more advice, please do join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts are on hand 24/7. And during the live session, we will be running a poll. Today, we are asking you, what is your favorite social media platform? I know I have mine. So please do engage with it, and I will share the results with you at the end. Now, I thought I would start off by telling you a little bit about myself. I am 25 years old, and I fell into television completely by accident. I started on a program you might have heard of called Made in Chelsea, and that was 7 years ago now. And I had a lot of fun while I was a cast member, as you can probably imagine. I then got a really wonderful opportunity to go to Australia to partake in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here at the end of 2017. And I actually ended up winning, which was pretty epic, of course. And having been away from my telephone for over a month, I was completely blown away by the increase in my following. In total, across my main 4 social media platforms, which are Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube, I have 2.7 million followers. Now, I quite strongly believe that my online presence is my most valuable commodity, even in my eyes, more than television, because every single follower has gone out of their way to engage with me and follow my story. And for this, I am eternally grateful. Now, not to be too figure heavy, however, I was prepping to talk to you today, and I had a look at my insights on Instagram, which is such a useful tool to have a deep delve into your engagement. And in the past week alone, I have made 19.6 million impressions. And if you don't know what impressions are, this is the number of times my content has been seen, which I think is pretty amazing. But of course, it really is my full-time job. And the week before, I had a look at this figure, and it was 7 million less, which is obviously a massive dip. And I was really disappointed. I'm away at the moment, and I kind of took my eye off the ball. And this is a danger zone for any online brand. And it brings me on to what I think is the key to nailing social media, and that is consistency. Regardless of how many followers you have, it's just so important if you want to grow your business online with social media, or even on your personal profile. And I think you'll all agree that social media users are incredibly active, particularly in the past few months. We've obviously had less physical interaction than ever. And from my personal experience, my demographic is generally pretty active first thing in the morning when they wake up. And then people seem to have a bit of a second scroll around lunchtime, and then a final scroll before going to bed. This means that we all constantly have tabs on what is happening around us in real time. I think us active social media users have developed a sort of type of online FOMO. And I quite strongly think that making the most of social media means being topical and current. And I find the best way to be engaging with my audience is through my Instagram stories. They're fun, they're easy to digest, and I really love to keep the conversation flowing casually throughout the day. You really want to, at the end of the day, become part of your followers' daily routine. Now, I don't want to pretend that I have some godlike insight into social media algorithms, but it is undeniable that consistent good content equals more followers and engagement. I think it really is a numbers game. You want your followers to come back to your page, and as a brand, you've kind of got to give the people what they want. Sometimes it can feel like you're on a bit of a hamster wheel, and perhaps it's healthy sometimes to take a break, as I did last week. But as I said, a 7 million decrease in impressions just when I wasn't at the top of my game for 1 week isn't fulfilling. And quite frankly, it hammered home to me how imperative it is to be consistent. Now, you might be thinking, how on earth do you keep coming up with fresh material? This is a question I get asked all of the time. And I do think it's quite a big stumbling block for potential social media stars. And I think for me, I never, ever let the worry of content lead me. I simply lead my life and film and photograph what I'm up to. And this has come after years of testing different types of filming and setting up videos, particularly for longer format on YouTube. And people just want to see the everyday mundanity that is life, which is so much easier for me because setting up these big productions for YouTube, let's say, for really highly polished content is really expensive. And when I look at the people that I really love and follow, I engage most with the most relaxed, authentic, and real posts. Now, for example, since I've been abroad, I've been setting up my tiny little tripod and I just chat away to the camera while I'm getting ready, choosing my outfits, doing my makeup. And I talk to the camera as though it is my best friend sat there. And this has been so good for my social media channels. I've been completely astounded. People just love that they feel that they're getting ready with me. And I think I'm receiving thousands of direct messages a day because I'm asking for their genuine opinions. It's very simple, but it works so well. Now, it does take time to understand your demographic. I'm still learning every single day, but understanding why someone follows you and what exactly it is that they like hearing from you, it is a bit of a minefield. But knowing what kind of user they are is the key to being able to create this connection beyond just our telephones and our computers. And I think as a business, trying to engage more with the consumer, this is very, very important. But I was thinking as well the other day, social media can actually be really perplexing at times. And I will upload something and be so certain that it will get, let's say, 100,000 likes. And it ends up only getting a small fraction of that. And I remember I was in two minds of uploading this really, really silly video of me where I was wearing this amazing ball gown and I tripped over quite sensationally. And I was backstage at the National Television Awards and I thought, I'm just going to put it out there because it's the type of thing, you know, my mum would find funny, maybe my auntie. And people loved it so much, it got 4 million views. As I was saying, it can be really unpredictable, but people do engage most with silly fun and authentic real posts. I mean, yeah, let's be honest, who doesn't love a video of someone tripping over? At the end of the day, I have come to understand that I just have to stay true to myself, my brand, and trust my gut. I do think we live in a time of just a constant pursuit of perfection. And as an influencer, someone who's certainly in the public eye, I used to feel really pressured to comply with this. But I think the recent state of the world gave me the opportunity to take a step back and just think about my part in all of this. I am so sure that people are exhausted and tired of inauthenticity. And they're not silly. They can identify when an account has a genuine voice behind it. I was trying to think of a lovely little way to put it. And I came up with, I don't want perfection. I am always seeking a connection. And I just think that's because we are saturated with so much information constantly that for a brand or an account to stand up for me, it has to create a really deep connection, not just online. Now, I feel that social media has completely changed the way that we consume news, with the things that we buy, the way that we communicate with each other. And I don't think it matters if you are, let's say, a small independent business with a few hundred followers, or perhaps a more established brand with hundreds of thousands. having a clear social media strategy can make such a huge impact in your outreach. You need to have a really clear voice as a company. It's so important. I think it will just help you bond with your consumers and allow you to expand beyond your area or your country. You know, all they need is an internet connection to find you. And I think that's a really wonderful thing. I think businesses should give social media the same importance as every other aspect of the business because it is so valuable in the long run. Now, for me, social media has completely changed the course of my career, and it has given me the most wonderful opportunities. Things like this. I am here today, and I think about all the wonderful people I've met and how I've been able to grow my personal brand. And I really love what I do. And I hope my story has been helpful in some way and given you a bit of an insight into what I do every single day. And of course, it has become a job that I absolutely adore. Now, we thought it would be great to take some questions from you guys. Oh, we've already got some. So we've got our first one. This is from Monica on Instagram DM, who has asked me, how do I get brands to collaborate with me without having a huge amount of followers? This is such a great question. See, I've got a really lovely friend who has just started out doing influencing full time, and all she did was hustle. She was cultivating those relationships. If she wanted to work with, let's say, a brand, she would go out and spend a bit of money on that brand and show goodwill to the company and say, do you know what? I really love this product on my Instagram story, and clearly state that it is not a gift. It is not a sponsored post. I just really love this product. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, we are so saturated with content, and influencers can be quite sneaky with being paid for things and not being transparent about it. And with that in mind, I think companies really look well upon people who are just authentic. And when you love something, go and get it. Tell them that you love the company. Write them a handwritten letter. I think that's probably the best way to start. Good luck. Good luck with that. So we've got our next question from Ria on Instagram DM. She has asked, what is the best way to keep people interested while still promoting your brand? Okay, that is a very good one. I worry about this a lot because I do a lot of content where I'm really promoting stuff that's really important to me. And sometimes I think that maybe I saturate my followers. So what I do is I mix it up with really, really chilled out normal posts. I think there is a reason why people do follow you. And I think they obviously are engaged with your brand. So never be ashamed or worried about pushing your own personal brand. That's kind of why they're here. Like, that's why they're in the room. So I wouldn't worry about that as such. But I think you've got to mix up the content. I think if you're just pushing, let's say, a product, for example, and that's all you seem to be doing, I think, yeah, maybe that would be quite stale, but never be ashamed. I think we've got to shout about all the stuff that we're doing. That's why the people follow us, I'm sure of it. Now we've got our next question. This is from Martin on Instagram direct message. Hi, Toff. Apart from being named Queen of the Jungle in 2017, which is so good, I would agree with that, do you have a career highlight that you can think of and why? Oh God, that's such a good question. I think it's got to be, so it was the February after I had won the Jungle, and that time for me was just super overwhelming. I was flooded with the most insane opportunities, and this one came in from ITV. They said, we're going to fly you out to LA and you are going to go to the Oscars. And I was like, what, me? Surely not. And off we went to the Oscars, and it was just the most amazing, if not crazy experience of my life. And I thought at that point, I really, really love what I do. And I remember I was on the red carpet and you're going like this, getting elbows to try and get a question to all of these proper A-listers. And I remember there was this big Hollywood actor and I was trying to shout at him. I was going, can I come to the after party with you? And then his wife turned around and gave quite a dirty look to me. My producer from ITV said, we've got it, Toff, that's it. And I thought, gosh, maybe I am quite good at this. I just have to shout obscenities at A-listers. But yeah, it's got to be the Oscars in 2018. It was wonderful. Right. Next question is from Rosie Louise on Facebook live feed, who is wondering, does consistency have to be wall posts or can it be just stories? This is such a good one. So I find doing my stories a lot easier. I'm quite personality driven on my Instagram. And actually, I think that can be quite negative sometimes. I think it's got to be both. I think it depends on how much content you want to flush out. But I think a good marker for a business would be one post a day. And I think sometimes people get wrapped up in likes and engagement. Sometimes if you upload every day, it might not look good on your feed. It doesn't matter because it is true consistency. They expect you to upload at a certain time. Give it to them. I think the grid posts, Rosie, are as important as the stories because sometimes I can be really funny and find a beautiful outfit and I think, oh, that's amazing content on my stories today. And then 24 hours later, it's gone. And then I think, well, if a brand's looking at working with me, they can't see the Instagram stories more than 24 hours ago. So I think building out your main feed is so important. And if I'm completely honest, I have to really push myself to do that for sure, because it's always, always there. Now, Emma from Instagram Story Poll, she is asking, what is your preferred environment for inspiration and what do you recommend? Environment in which way? If you're thinking, I think for me, I have found creating content a lot easier when I'm away. There's sort of a reason that all of these influencers who live in sunny, beautiful places always have amazing content. Things when I am abroad come more naturally to me because I'm not just doing my everyday life. And I think at home, sometimes people just don't want to watch me put a wash on or, I don't know, go and walk the dog every day. But that is just what I do at home. So I think creatively, I find it a lot easier when I'm somewhere a bit sunnier or in the summer at home. It works very well for me. And, let's not beat around the bush. Everyone looks a bit better in the sunlight. It's easier to create really beautiful, beautiful content. However, if you go through the winter, I see such a big spike around Christmas of engagement because people are off work. So yeah, I think if I could have my pick, I understand why lots of influencers live abroad. It is depressing when you go out with the tripod and I'm walking around Chelsea and I'm thinking, but the houses are so beautiful, but the weather's so awful. So yeah, I would say when I am abroad, it comes, the inspiration flows a lot more freely. Now, my next question is from Mia on Instagram Story Poll. She says, hi, Toff. Do you have any tips with growing your followers quickly with little or no budget? Right. This is a great question. I'm really glad that you've asked this. Reach out and try to collab with people. That is how our biggest influencers have done it. You really think, they're just a one-man band. You've got to have people that collaborate. And it does not matter if they have a similar following to you. If you think about collaborating with someone with a similar following to you, you're doubling the amount of people that are looking at your posts. I think social media is not a world where one must be shy or, let's say, a bit of a shrinking violet. There is a reason we have private direct messages or even do it publicly. People love it. And I don't know whether I'm biased because I've had such a lovely, lovely time on social media. But I think people really are up for helping each other out. Today I'm actually launching my clothing collection, which I am so excited about. And I always help out other influencers. Let's say if they have a book coming out or they've done, big interview in a magazine, I do it for them. And they're sort of like pennies that you save up in an influencer piggy bank. And I sent out some really lovely emails and I said, hi, I've been designing my collection for 6 months. My collection's coming out on Friday. Would you be interested in maybe wearing a piece for me? And they all reply saying, hi, Toff, thank you so much. You really helped me out a few months ago. Of course. So yeah, I think it's a space for collaboration and really use it to your benefit. Right. Oh, Hector. Hello, Hector. Hi, Toff. I saw that you've also published a few books. Yes. How did you find writing them? And do you have plans to release any more? Oh, thank you for asking me this. Yes, so writing is my one true love. It's always been my hobby and I absolutely love it. And I feel so lucky that I've been able to use this in my work now. So my first book came out in early 2018 and it was like a satirical autobiography, but also a guide to being positive and happy. That was called Always Smiling. And this is what I was mentioning about hustling. Sometimes you've got to do it. I've always wanted to write a fiction novel forever. It's always been my goal. And I was at a drinks party and I spotted the publisher, the head of publishing at HarperCollins. And I had a swig of my champagne and I thought, do you know what? There is no, you ever have an opportunity like this. So I strode over and I said, hi there, I really want to write a book for you. Lo and behold, after my managers completely obsessing over them and not leaving them alone, and me, and writing begging emails and letters, I finally got a 4-part book deal. And my first one, I can't believe I'm saying this, is coming out on October the 15th. And it is the most wonderful fiction book. It's a bit chick lit. It's a bit naughty. It's a beachside read. But it's so wonderful. And I think it's also really important to say when you're in my position that I have had the most amazing help from the most wonderful co-author called Louisa George. And it has been the biggest effort together. And I'm so proud of what we've produced. So yes, I do have plans and it's coming. And I've got one. I'm sure I've got, oh my God, I've got one here. Can you believe it? This is the front cover. It's called Meet Me in London, guys. Enough about me. Right, Bertie. Oh, my granddad's called Bertie. Good morning. Do you ever get a chance to see the cast from Made in Chelsea? I loved you on that show. Oh my God, thank you so much. I loved it too. It was such a special, fun time. And what an amazing platform for me to go on and do what I've done in the past 5 years. I still see Ollie Locke. I'm very close to Emily Blackwell. The problem is with Made in Chelsea, I don't really know that many of the characters that are on there now. So I feel like I'm a oldie out of the loop, even though I'm 25, but I've got such fond memories and I cannot believe, so that show has been on for 10 years now. I think, yeah, a lot of people owe a lot to that show. But I think that the big thing for me the reason why I'm not on the show anymore is because it was a bit, I think, and I felt it was wrong of me to be on that show without giving it everything, a total key to unlocking and plastering my life all over the television, because that's the only way that show works. And if you are protective, as I am, of certain parts of my private life, it's kind of unfair on the other characters that are busting a gut and getting dumped on the telly. So I had to make a really difficult decision to leave, but gosh, it was such fun. Such fun. Right. Who have we got? Thank you so much, Bertie. I like that question. Anything about Made in Chelsea? Right. Chloe from Instagram, she is asking, hi there. Do you have any tips for overcoming worry about what people think of your online content? Oh, I so feel this. Chloe's saying, I sometimes do an Instagram story, for example, but then delete it as I get anxious about what other people think of me. Right, I think that's practice. I've got a friend who was asking me about this, and I said to her, go into a room, lock the door, turn that camera on and keep on talking until you love yourself. And if you don't love yourself that day, I mean, even I cringe at my own voice, of course I do, but I'm used to the sound of my own voice. So you've got to flush that mindset out. Celebrate your voice. It's the most precious thing that we have, and use it. But I think the way that I would get over that, because I remember when I first started my YouTube channel and I was hanging out with loads of YouTubers, and they would so easily walk down the street with this vlogging camera held up. And I used to think, God, that is mortifying. I couldn't ever do that. And my friend Jack Maynard said to me, Toff, if you don't do that, you're not a vlogger. There's no point. What, you're just going to vlog inside your house? That's boring. We need to document everything that we're up to. So he forced me to walk down the street, and I was going, this is so embarrassing. I'm never doing this. And then the next day I did it again. And then the next day I did it. And then I thought, actually, it's not so bad. Who cares what other people think of me? I'm creating good content. So yeah, please do never question when you upload something. You upload it for a reason. Right. Grace from Facebook. Morning, Georgia. I am really new to social media and I'm trying to build a bit of a following so that I can sell my homemade baking products. Do you have any tips for beginners like me starting out? Gosh, what an amazing time to join social media. I'm such an old timer. I've been on it for years. I think maybe there would be a lot of YouTube videos for that. Because for me, the social media, the way that I use the apps, it's such second nature to me. So I can't imagine being at the beginning. It's so exciting. Maybe a good thing for you to do, and I've done this before, is to create. So on Instagram, for example, you can have another account, but lock it down, make it private, play with photos and videos, upload, see how your grid looks. And then because you're just starting out, and obviously it's important because it's a business, you can see how successful it is on your private one, and maybe get a few of your friends and family to follow it, get them to be really honest about what they think. And then if you really like it, you transfer to your other main feed. Because I agree, I think if you're first starting out, it's important to grow firstly, but it's also important to get it right. So maybe that's a good idea, having a little separate private Instagram, friends, family. How is this, guys? Do you think this would do well? And if they think so, transfer. Right. Next question is from Charlie. Hi, Toff. Are you still on holiday? Yes, Charlie, I am. Yes. I made a decision to come away about a month ago, and I brought my little puppy Monty with me, who's chewing a bone in the other room. I've put him in the bedroom with a big juicy bone, so he didn't distract me. And I feel as though now that I've traveled here, I'm going to stay put. And yeah, I'm really, really happy. I struggled a little bit in London. I live on my own. And yeah, as lots of people did, I found it really hard. And I made the decision to come out here. It was a nightmare to get the dog here. So I'm staying put for now. But lots of people are asking me whether I'm moving here. I'm not. I'm just really happy. So yes. Right. I have another question. I'm loving these questions. Thank you so much, everyone. Rosie, next up from Facebook. Do you think social media is for brands and purchases, or can it be used for mental health services? I run a counselling business. Oh, this is brilliant. And share thoughts on Instagram, but wondering if this is the right platform. Rosie, this is the right platform. I cannot stress that enough. I think we are in the middle of an epidemic of mental health problems, and I'm sure it is rife in the young. And where do the young hang out? You need to try TikTok too. TikTok for the youngies, Instagram for anyone. It's such a varied age group. I think it's really amazing what you do. And sometimes if I'm feeling a bit low and I see an Instagram stories, it makes me smile. And yeah, I think it's really wonderful. Right, the time has flown by, and I'm so sad that Rosie was the last question. Now it is time for me to reveal the poll results. We asked you, what is your favorite social media platform? Now, I'm not surprised with this. 44% of you said it's Instagram, 11% of you said it was TikTok, and 0% of you said it was YouTube. What? And 44% of you said Facebook. How interesting. Oh, love it. Thank you so much, everybody. Any questions, please get in touch with the QuickBooks support team on Facebook, or you can reach out to me on Instagram direct message. My handle is @Toff Toffolo. Now, coming up on Ask the Expert on Monday is Tom Exton, who is co-founder of LDNM, who is an internationally known and respected fitness brand, having delivered world-proven diet and training guides, fitness qualifications and education. Love that. I'm going to tune in. A reminder that if you do need any more advice, please do join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. And there are accountants and business experts on hand 24/7. Thank you so much for tuning in today, everyone. I've had such a lovely time. Have a great day. See you soon.